Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back your lovely faces to a brand new video here on the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. We are going to be having a look at this. Over the last couple of weeks, I put out a video asking where is Elaine. We haven't really seen or heard from her or anyone else that's involved or were involved with Amber and her legal team. We have seen that she's currently in a bit of a pickle because she's demanding a jury trial for her insurance trial, which is going to be kind of fascinating to see. And especially when she came out and said that, I don't believe you, I don't have any faith in the American justice system. But then she goes and demands a legal trial because she broke the terms and conditions of her insurance. That's a different day, different video, different thing altogether. As you can see by this, did losing the trial damage Amber Heard's lawyers? My suspicion at this moment in time is yes. So, with the trial being over now for 9 months and with Heard settling out of court back in December, not much has been heard or seen of her lawyers. Many legal critics who watched the trial think their lines of questioning were terrible. They mismanaged both Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's cross-examinations, and overall they did not come out of the trial looking like good lawyers. The lawyers representing AH were Elaine and Adam from Charles Spreadhoff, Cohen & Brown and Nadelhoft, and the unfortunately named Ben Rottenborn from Woods Rogers Attorneys at Law. Rottenbottom, we all know him. The case went on for over 6 weeks, ending with Johnny Depp winning, which it was. Remember, it was a defamation case, which are some of the hardest cases to win because they require intense amounts of fact-finding, additional costs for hiring experts such as psychologists and other varieties. Now, if you remember with that as well, we saw, Amber's team, they brought in her psychologist, they brought in her marriage counselor, the one who even agreed and said, yes, she started the physical activities. You had the doc from Back to the Future, like we were saying. There's just so many people came into this trial where, looking back on it, it was more of like a circus. I will admit that. You had Johnny and his team where you brought people up and they were straight and direct to the point. Questions were asked. Yes, this. Long form answers, going through it all, and they were fine. Then you get to AH's team, and some of the things they were asking is just, 1, mind-blowing, 2, even to people like myself, Stevie, Tug, Les, all of us, we're like, we're not lawyers, but even we know that's a dumb question. Because there's so many things that came out of their mouths. And with us, obviously, one of the good things is that many legal vloggers and streamers, they watched the trial and offered extensive commentary. For example, on this channel, we had Andrea Burkhardt a number of days for the trial, which we did. We had so many people coming on the panel with us, which we are still just absolutely amazing and thankful and grateful that they spent their time with us when they could have been with other lawyers and actually talking amongst themselves instead of just being with a group of people who asked too many questions, But again, thank you ever so much for joining us, Andrea, and to everyone else. And we had all these people, and Andrea gave her expert opinion, and many others did as well. They all had the same questions, and we also had questions about why would a lawyer ask a question that they did not know the answer to. That is the biggest one for me, apart from the one at the end I'll show you, is if you're a lawyer, shouldn't you already know the answer to the question that you're asking? Wouldn't these have gone over? Wouldn't you have been like, right, okay, we know this. We know he's going to say A, B, and C, but we'll try and go around and squeeze D out of A, and all this kind of stuff. But some of the questions that they just came out with, I was gobsmacked. I think a lot of you actually saw. Sadly, they're not on the channel anymore because I had to delete them because of YouTube saying that they were, it was copied content and reused, even though it's a court case, it's a trial, that's why it was. And we were all there. We were all like, what is going on? What are these questions? One of the best ones is Elaine talking about Armaca cream and all this kind of stuff. And then you also had when she said to Johnny's Bloody hell, one of Johnny's psychologists. He goes, oh, what about the bagels? So your husband went out for the bagels because it was Amber, yeah. No, he always got me bagels. One day he just happened to see that it was her and all this kind of stuff. And they just didn't know, even when they were questioning her herself. And you just had her there going,
I'm trying.
What are you trying? You should already have these questions down for you. You should already know the answer to them. And obviously, who else can forget the amazing little Rotten Bottom, who, obviously, not big Rotten Bottom, but little, when he objected to himself. He objected to himself. I mean, come on. Really? That's one of the funniest things that all of us seen. Even Judge Penny Azakarati was like, but you asked the question, which is just, But anyway, we all saw in several clips of Bridhoff and Rottenbaum cross-examining witnesses. Both lawyers asked questions only to get humiliated by the answers. Cast your minds back to when Rottenbottom asked if Johnny Depp had his junk out. Remember that one when he asked one of the bodyguards? The reply was a very confused-sounding no, which, again, everyone watching it in the live chat with us, and even on social media, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, you name it, everyone just yelled out,
what the...
Everyone was like, what the hell is this guy asking? Everyone did. And again, like I was saying, it's the most viral court case ever. Over 19 billion views, which is insane. Who can forget Mr. Tremaine? One of the biggest viral moments of the trial was ex-TMZ reporter Morgan Tremaine embarrassing Elaine. Elaine said,
"This gets you your 15 minutes of fame."
I could say the same about you representing Amber Heard. Which, as you remember, everyone was just like, everyone, even in the gallery, you could hear, oh my God, like that meme where all the boys are like, and all that kind of stuff. Everyone just was shocked. And this is Elaine who, she asked other questions to other people like,
are you a fan? Oh, you're a fan of Johnny Depp, aren't you?
And they were like, no, I'm here because they were at my camp, and all this kind of stuff. It's absolutely hysterical seeing Elaine and all these other people who, again, Elaine and her team are supposedly the best lawyers in their area. It's like, so who are the other ones? Are they animals? Are they dogs, cats, lawyers? What? This is how bad it was. Many questions were ruled as hearsay by judge, which they were, to which we had many, many questions coming through the live chat. But what was one of the biggest and ultimate blunders that AH's team did? I'll give you 5 seconds. Elaine and co argued with the judge. This is one thing you do not do. You do not argue with the judge. Everyone knows this. You argue with the judge, it's going to make you look like you're very standoffish, you're against them, you're very, I'm going to defend everything and I'm going to attack. You're on the offensive. And as we got by here, Andrea, Legal Bites, Lauren Lumber, Nick Ricada, everyone stated that is the one thing that will make the jury look down on you and be in favour of the opposite team, and the judge will even look down on you and be like, right, you're being hostile. Okay. We had so many things of this with Elaine. She was arguing with Judge Penny so many times. Hell, even Rottenbottom was. One of the biggest ones of Rottenbottom. When he goes, Judge, I think you should see this, Judge. When you had Gollum, her, I'm not going to say her name because I can't be bothered. She went, she was on the front bench, which she was not meant to be. She wasn't part of the team. She's a journalist, and all this kind of stuff. And she sent him an Instagram post from like a year ago. Well, sorry, 2 years ago now. And they were like, oh my God, look, she's posting about this. Oh my God. And it wasn't. It got her off, Is a publicist, Johnny's publicist and everything else. They weren't allowed to be on the stand anymore because of that. And then all of a sudden, you're like, yeah, why is she doing this? She's not meant to be looking. Then she got kicked out of the court, if you remember, because she was sent to the back, but she was still on her phone and on her watch doing stuff. And they were like, out, you're banned. That was in the first week, you know? There was just so many things going on, and it's just absolutely hysterical to see that because of everything that happened during the trial, her lawyers are not exactly doing well in the world. You know, you had all of these things. Elaine was recently at a dinner where she just went on about all the phone calls she's getting, all the mail and all this kind of stuff, which I do not condone. You know, that's who she hired. She was there to represent Amber. You know, she was being paid for it. And when you're a lawyer, doesn't matter if you like the person or not, you go where the money is and you go with the job. But again, this happened, and yeah, it just didn't really work out for any of them. It all just went pear-shaped. It all went pine cones up. And it's just interesting to see that no one has really heard from them. They may be taking cases. Elaine hasn't stepped out. She's been very private, like I said. She did a couple of talk shows. Then she was called in by Judge Penny into the courthouse, if you remember, in the first week of June. And if I remember correctly, she was meant to be doing a court TV interview, or was it Law and Crime? Anyway, it was one of those two YouTube channels where she was meant to be doing an interview. And she goes, I can't, I gotta go to the judge. And that was the end of it. I'm pretty sure Judge Penny just went, stop it, or I will have you. And she stopped it. And to be honest with you, that kind of shows the shit show that she was running. Amber and her lawyers, you know, they were just terrible. That's what we got. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you would like to see more of this type of stuff. Looking into things, giving other people, bringing other people's opinions on again. I think it'd be good. So if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you all soon.